One of the things that we hear about in sport in general, and of course in boxing, is steroids. Do you think boxing has a steroid problem?
I don't think it has a steroid problem. I think there's so many. You've got to be so careful these days. I think if they can use something in order to get away with it or give you an advantage, you know what I mean. But the boxing board of control and the councils all over the world, you know, working really, really hard, you know, to fight this case. I don't think it's necessarily steroids. It can be, you know, something to take so you can make the weight a little bit easier, you know, something you can take that can make you a little bit stronger, something that you can take to make you a bit more explosive. And there's, you know, and if you know what you're doing, you know, sometimes I can never get my head around that, because I think the point of being the best in the world is knowing that, you know, you've got in there and you are the best in the world. But I mean, if you're having a little bit of a pick-me-up or taking something that might give you a little bit of advantage, then you may win the world title, but you don't know whether you're the best in the world. You know, so I just don't think it's a steroid problem. I think it's just a drug in general. You know, if anyone can take anything to give you that little bit of advantage, you know, sadly, if they can get away with it, they probably will do. And I think boxing's got to, you know, just wake up to that fact, I think. Yeah.
I imagine the pressure's hard as well from external sources. I mean, were you ever offered performance-enhancing drugs?
No, my nutritionist. I was. People must have probably thought, God blimey, you know, the engine that Ricky Hatton's got, because I was under a mile an hour once, you know, my work rate, my punch volume was high, and I was known as Ricky Fatten, wasn't I? So I had to. I lost 3 stone in weight pretty much every fight when I was at world title level. So people used to think, oh, he's lost 3 stone in weight in the 12-week period, and he's still been able to keep his work rate up, his punch volume up, his strength, and and he's still been able to maintain it. But no, I just I used to have a protein shake, a recovery shake, and and my multivitamins, and that was it for.
And did the people around you know not to offer you anything? Because I imagine
of course, I had my nutritionist Kerry Kay is one of the best in the business. His profession wasn't before he started in boxing, and he ended up working, because he did such a good job with me. He ended up working with nutrition in boxing with other fighters in other areas that were using him, because they used to think, God, what he's done with Ricky Hatton. So no, he was exceptional, Kerry Kay, at what he did, and he come from a bodybuilding background, so he knows the body and he knows what you need for this and that and all the rest of it, but in the right way, you know what I mean. And he ended up, he just started off with me, but he ended up helping out a lot of boxers, because he was very good at it. Yeah.
Because imagine there'd be people in your scenario thinking, the Floyd Mayweather example, thinking, if I take some stuff, I might actually be able to beat this guy, but that just was not where you were at.
Absolutely not. I mean, what's the point? If I've took some stuff, then I've beat him because might have beat him because I've took that stuff. I've not beaten him because I'm the best in the world. And it's a little bit different now. It's a little bit different then, I should say, to what it is now. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more stuff knocking about. You can take to train, and you can maybe get away with it if you
to help with a weight cut or something.
They know what they're doing now, don't they? But back in the day, old school, it was like, God, even stuff like before the fight, the warm-ups now, they're done more explosively, with straps and everything like that, where it was, back in the day when we were going, to warm up, you just touch your toes. Boxing,
and off you go.
Boxing's just come on so much in all areas, whether it be nutrition or, resistance work or strength work or weight making or this and that. And you've got to move with the times. You're always going to get them one that'll cheat and try and do that. But I think that you're never going to get that. But I think it's changed so much over the years, hasn't it?
And when it does come out that someone like Conor Benn, for example, comes out that there's been performance enhancing issues, how do you feel about that? Are you thinking that's a drug cheat and it makes you angry, or are you thinking that's just part of the sport?
I think it's just part of the sport. And, to be honest with you, not everybody who fails the drug test, majority, some people will do it so they can get a little bit of an unfair advantage. But not everyone that fails a drug test has done it purposely. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of and that's the problem that we're always going to have. It's a catch-22, Has he done it on purposely, so he can get an advantage, or has he just made a mistake and not checked what's exactly in a certain food or a certain shake or a certain drink or a certain tablet, anything like that? and that's always going to be. It doesn't matter how far, how many years boxing continues to go for. You're always going to have that where some people will generally be innocent and not have done it purposely, and then some of them will have done it purposely to get the advantage. You know what I mean? And you'll never get to the bottom of that, unfortunately, will you?
If you enjoyed this and want to watch my full interview with Ricky, you can do so right here.